Hello and welcome to Guitar Paradiso on Andertons TV.
I'm Mick.
And I am Pete. And today we're going to have a little comparison video. And we found a really cool way, as you heard in the beginning, to I'll just get a shot for you on the floor here, how we got an AB box to switch between us and an AB box to switch between the amps, and we loop a loop and then we can both play on it. It's very nice, and I've just come up with that. It's great. It works really well. You're welcome.
The Loop King. The Loop King.
The Loop King.
So just to clarify, what you were hearing there was both of these amps.
Yeah.
One set with a bit of tremolo, one set without a bit of tremolo, and that's what you heard. However, we're not here to play both amps. We're here to play both amps.
Yes, and the amps that we are here to play and compare are the Fender Princeton Reverb amp, and one of them is a limited edition, special edition, something like that, with a different speaker and a different color. And as we know, the color of the amp makes the difference. What?
It's true.
It is true. It's completely 100%.
The red Marshall sounded completely different.
Red is louder.
Yeah, red is louder. And
green is more the nice,
smoother. Yeah.
Yeah. Black is a bit.
Yeah.
And blue is just different. Anyway,
so Fender Princeton Reverb, probably the unsung hero. Fender. There are many unsung heroes of the Fender amp canon, but the Princeton,
it's just great.
Yeah. So nominally 15 watts, although I think they were 12 watts. Two 6v6s.
Yeah.
Very simple single channel amp with reverb and tremolo. So. Yeah. As we like doing, potted history of guitar amplifiers. Guitar amplifiers were really small and low powered, and what in the 40s, late 40s, and then when electric guitars came along in 1950, solid body electric guitars, what they wanted was more volume and more clarity. So the idea of a distorted guitar sound back then was like nobody wanted that. They wanted clean, 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 clean. Yeah. So as a result, amps went from 6 watts to 12 to 15 watts to 30 watts to 50 watts and eventually up to the
200 watts.
Yeah.
Marshall, the big Marshall thing.
And while that development was going on apace throughout the 50s, the last thing they kind of wanted in a way was overdrive, and so stepping stones like the Princeton, which obviously existed before the blackface incarnation of the 60s, but overdrive guitar tones became cool later. That's the point. So what people wanted was louder, 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 louder,
Clean.
and now what's happening is, of course,
everybody goes, no, that's too loud.
It's too loud.
It's too loud.
We need it
in
quieter.
ears. It needs to be quiet. Yeah, but you're playing a massive gig in front of 20,000 people. You still have to turn it down.
Yeah, and
I mean,
eventually coming full circle to the point, a lot of people, I mean, people in the know have always known it, but a lot of people are rediscovering small wattage valve amps, and the Princeton is a fantastic.
yeah, and it's been copied, in loads of people.
Well,
have done
it's
it, but
evolved
it's just
of those great circuits which lie at the heart of Fender, pretty much.
Yeah.
Defined valve guitar amps.
Yeah.
In the 50s and 60s. So
there we go.
So apart from the cosmetics, this one has blue vinyl and a blue jewel light, and that one has black vinyl and a Tolex, should I say?
Tolex.
And a red jewel light. Apart from cosmetics, the only difference between the two amps is this one has a Celestion 12-inch alnico magnet blue, so an alnico blue.
Yeah.
And the standard Princeton has a Jensen C10R, which is a ceramic magnet 10-inch speaker. So it's a smaller speaker with a ceramic magnet, larger speaker, alnico magnet. This one's rated at 100 dB, and 15 watts.
Okay.
And that's rated at about 95 dB, and I think 25 watts for the speaker.
Okay.
So it can handle more power, but it's not as efficient.
Okay.
Which will,
Let's see what it sounds like.
Yeah,
that's how I you know what I mean. And it could be that you prefer one to the other, because there is only £2 difference in these two.
£2?
£2 on the website. If you go on Andertons.co.uk, 999
No way.
So if it is, then you'll have to just plug them in and if you like blue, hey, then you got an alnico blue, you got a blue light, you got a blue Tolex. If you don't like blue, go for the other one. Okay, play. So we've got.
I'm going to set the amps exactly the same.
Let's set them the same.
And those settings are volume 4.5, treble 5, bass 6, reverb 3, and we'll keep the vibrato off for a second.
Okay.
So just make sure. There we go.
Good. So first, the blue. Okay. And I'm going with this chord today. So that was the blue alnico, and here's the other one. Pickup.
So I don't know what you're hearing out there in YouTube land, but in the room here, the blue is considerably louder.
Yeah, it's louder.
More bottom end.
More bottom end.
I mean, that might be as a function of it being louder.
Yeah.
Shall we? I'll tell you what we do. Shall we turn this one up a bit to balance out the volume?
Okay.
So we've got the same. So we'll have the same volume level. I'll just try and balance that.
Yeah.
And see what the difference is then.
Okay. Do you want me to play?
Go for it. You play.
tough one. I don't know if I actually prefer this one.
Weird, isn't it? So once you get a bit of volume going in the
10-inch.
In the 10-inch, it starts to break up a bit more, which of course is where the Princeton is just so magic, when it starts to get on that edge of.
Yeah, let me just try to play some.
Why don't you add a bit of overdrive to the mix?
Okay.
So we got the Noble's ODR1 on the floor.
Yeah.
From a pedal. We'll turn the amps up in a sec, but.
Yeah, let's try that.
Did we just hear that with the telly a sec?
Yes, we shall.
What key were you in there?
C. That's more. It gets more flappy, doesn't it?
So
especially with that guitar.
We've identified the Princeton's probably chief shortcoming, which is on bass notes. If you've got loads of bass dialed into the amp,
Yeah.
that 10-inch speaker, it woofs out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Which is why there's a long history about rating the speakers in the Princeton. Some people really like that. You know, if you use
that cardboard just crackling.
Yeah,
kind of, go, I can't stand it anymore.
less bass in the amp. So I'm just going to turn the bass down in the amp, turn the volume up a minute.
Okay.
See what this sounds? Just straight into the Princeton.
It's definitely farting out, as it were.
It's a good rock and roll sound.
It is.
Really kind of not quite sure what the word is, but that kind of experimental
Yeah.
lo-fi. But yeah, so let's just do that exactly same thing into this. So we'll set this one the same. So it's up at 6, bass down to 5. Yeah, again.
And also, it's just worth mentioning, we are using the same microphones on SM57 and a Røde NTR ribbon on both of them. Same cables going into an Apollo 8P in Logic, and that's it.
Okay, so we'll just give you a quick blast of the other one, and then just switch.
I got it.
Oh, we're done. So we'll just play that one first, and then switch over to that
you go
one.
for it. So that was, we had the Nobles on and then I took it off for the last. Because you can hear it's kind of, it is fun. It's not a loud amp, it's only 12 watts, so it will sort of flap out a bit.
Yeah, which is part of the
charm.
Charm for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I don't know, for me anyway, no contest.
Well, you like that one best.
I like the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at very low volumes.
Yeah, that one is probably better.
Yeah, at very, very low volumes.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more sweetness in that, but once you get that working,
yeah,
that's.
But as you heard in the beginning, when you got both, they sound great together.
Both together.
Together. Shall we do it? Shall we do it?
Let's hear some humbuckers.
Okay, let's do some humbuggery.
Just to get that job done.
To completely fart it out.
Well, let's see.
Let's see what happens.
Because you got more compression, so you never know.
Okay. Here we go. What?
Both
on. All day long!
All day long!
Anyway, we're not here to play them both together. We're here to compare them, and that's what we've done. And
yeah, if the question is which one you should buy, which one should you buy?
Exactly.
Both.
If you've got basically just get both of them.
Tell you what was interesting about that is, even though we didn't change the settings on the amp much, I mean there was a little bit of tweakery going on. What you also heard was the tremolo in the second amp when they were both on.
Yeah, which is lovely.
Yeah, which is really lovely.
Yeah. And that will that change the way it sounds, or the tremolo, would that react with the speaker, or that's the same, isn't it?
It just actually, I know guys who run two amps who run tremolo on one and not on the other.
Like reverb on one and so wet dry
it just
kind of
gives
thing.
kind of a kind of
broader
thing.
spectrum.
But what was really interesting was that used together, the combination of using both amps just filled out the bottom end so much that I could turn it down a little bit on the amp, so both of them were flapping out.
Yes, yeah.
But it's a pretty huge sound.
It is a massive sound, massive sound.
I mean, you'd get kicked off a lot of stages for using that much volume.
yeah, most stages. You know. No, just use just anyway, just plug straight into the desk.
Just before we sign off, I guess we should just hear the tremolo because we didn't actually.
Yes, let's do that really quickly.
Hear the tremolo on its
and I think we need to do that with a cleaner tone. So you go for it, darling.
Okay, plug me into this one then.
Okay, so with the blue one.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's almost like Leslie effect.
Yeah, that was two.
Exactly.
Started off with one, comparing them, but...
And then I turned the other one up, and then put both on, turned a bit more reverb up, and it became that sort of Leslie effect. Anyway,
Tremolo is such a cool sound.
it's lovely. You should come in and try them out. So take them both up, put them next to each other, and then make up your mind, because that's the only way really to compare stuff. But I think we did a good job. if I say so myself.
Well done, mate. Well done. Yeah, so there we go. Fender Princeton Reverb amp with Celestian Blue, Alnico Blue 12-inch, and Fender Princeton Reverb amp with Jensen C10R 10-inch.
Yes. And this was Guitar Paradiso on Andertons TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this. He was Mick.
He was Pete.
Yes, and we'll see you soon.
Goodbye.